Now that we have an idea with actionable goals and we do have a list of features that our MVP will have, we do have all the costs and we are ready for launch. But before we do dive into the action, so let's just first understand CCR, code, content and rights. You should know the importance of code ownership. So there is a very common term that you might have come across. It's called IPR, intellectual property rights. So you need to actually understand the importance of IPR before diving into the development of your product. IPR basically ensures that in future, when you have developed a multi-million-dollar product and the product doesn't fall into the wrong hands and you don't go home empty-handed. In simpler terms, IPR just ensures that the product that you have developed and the product which is funded by you is owned by you. So you do have the rights to all of its content and whatever legally falls under the jurisdiction of that specific product. So let's just talk about it more practically. You are gonna have a product of yours developed. Now, there are some certain accounts that you will be needing in order for the application to be live. For example, you need a GitHub account to store your code somewhere. In order for your product's name to exist digitally, you'll need a domain name. Google.com is a domain name. So you need to purchase it from somewhere and purchase it on your own name. So you need to create an account, which is an account under your name, and you are the sole owner of that domain. Secondly, there should be a place where your product resides in, where it is hosted. So basically there are a lot of hosting options out there, but let's just name the most popular ones. You need to have an AWS, Amazon Web Services account where you can host your product. You need to have a Google, Apple developer account where your application gets published to the App Store. So all of these accounts need to be created in your own name. So there are a lot of scammers out there who what they do is they just develop the application for you, but initially the clients, they don't know the importance of having the accounts in your own name. After the application is developed, they'll blackmail you for one way or another, or for any possible reason. All of these components combined make your product. If even one of them is missing, you will miss a key component of your product, and this is the reason why scammers do exist and people do get scammed these days as well. Lastly, you need to know the difference between custom code and open source code. Custom code is a piece of code which is developed by either a developer who you have either hired, or if you have developed it by yourself. But open source is a code which is developed by a community of developers and it's free for all. So you can't own an open source code. If a developer is just handing you over an open source code, you don't have any intellectual rights to that specific code. This is the importance of custom code when you're actually developing your product. And yes, developing on an open source code and customizing it does give you partial intellectual property rights, but the best way to go about it is having your own custom code from scratch. So there are different kinds of protections for intellectual property rights. They are copyright, trademark, patent, trade secrets, end user license agreement, and IP assignment, or some people might call it work for hire agreements. The most common one which I am currently talking about is a copyright, which simply protects original works such as the source code, graphics, user interface designs, and documentation. Trademark is something that protects brand elements like the app's name, logo, and slogans. And patent is something that you secure for non-obvious inventions or processes that are specifically implemented within your app, and you don't want anyone else to use those processes or algorithms or unique technical methodologies or functionalities by someone else. Trade secrets is basically if you want to cover your own confidential business information, such as proprietary algorithms or internal processes. And end user agreement is basically contractual agreements that outline the rights and responsibilities of the users and the developer regarding the use of the application. Lastly, work for hire agreements, as you all might already know, is if you collaborate with developers, designers, or other third parties. These contracts ensure that all IP rights are clearly assigned to the appropriate party, typically the application owner.